Good evening, this is BelGeode and we are back with some more X-Plane 10.50. So here we are in Altoona. Technically we are at Altoona Airport, which is Kilo Alpha Oscar Oscar, which is actually just south of the city of Altoona in central PA. Why are we here, you're wondering? Well, the major reason why I came here is I wanted to do a little bit of mountain flying, and in the neck of the woods that I live in, close to Pittsburgh, well, let's just say there's not quite mountains there. There's a lot of hills, but not real mountains. I need something a little bit taller. And I wanted to do, I guess, a little bit of bush flying. So originally I was going to do this in a Piper Cub. However, I happened to find this really cool little Cessna 170 that we're currently in right now. And I'm thinking I want to fly this baby around the Allegheny Mountains. So our destination today is going to be University Park Airport, which is pretty close to Bellefonte and so on. I want to say the major university over there is Penn State. So this is like their airport there. And the flight path that I have us going, let me just switch us over to SkyVector real quick here. So the flight path has us going over a river just to the east of the airport that we're in right now, and following that river north, well, technically I guess that would be northeast, till just where it becomes a much smaller river over by Huntington. And then we're going to be hanging a left. We're going to go about 004 degrees and head due north over some hills, some mountains, until we get close to where Holman Airport is. You see it there on the map. And then we're going to dogleg to the right, and that should take us straight into University Park, which is Kilo Uniform November Victor. Alright, so that is the flight plan, and this is the chariot that we're going to be riding in. The one thing I do need to figure out is going to be which way the wind is blowing, because one of the things that I noticed about this aircraft here, I can't really use the radios. I don't know if it's something with the aircraft itself or programming or what, but we do have a windsock here, and it looks like the rain has let up just long enough for me to do this, and from all appearances it looks like we are going to be going on a crosswind runway here. So that tells me where I need a taxi. Let's go ahead and hop into ye old aircraft. We'll go ahead and get going. Okay, now first thing I will tell you about this aircraft, I did change the sound set. The original sound set that it came with was not set properly. So I'm actually using the default Cessna 172 sounds, which I've slightly modified so that way X-Plane can show it, if you will, or play it, if you will, at the proper pitch, so to speak. Alright, let me do a quick engine run up here. Okay, everything's looking good. We do have carb heat in this. I'm probably going to need to put it on at some point in time, but we'll taxi to the runway first off. Alright, we've got everything set up here. The radio is off to the left-hand side underneath the yoke. However, even though I've got it programmed, for some strange reason it doesn't seem to want to come on. So I don't know what the story is on that. I can't get a weather brief. But, with that having been said, we're going to go ahead and taxi anyway. Now, since this is a tail dragger, I'm going to need to slightly change my viewpoint so I can actually see where the hell I'm going. Come off the brakes. Yes, brakes are off. And let's head to that crosswind runway real quick. As you can see, we got helipads here. I thought about taking a helicopter, but then it would probably take me forever to get there. And I kind of want to do this within an hour here. The resulting video is probably going to be much shorter than an hour. But for the flight itself, it should take me just under an hour. I want to try and see if I can get this done before two things happen. Thing number one, the sun sets, and thing number two, the rain comes back. Otherwise, this is not going to be a very pretty VFR flight. This is really a horrible day to be going flying anyway, but call me crazy. I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, now I forget exactly what the number is on this runway, but I guess we'll find out when we get to the end there. Just want to make sure I don't, like, go over the side here. Luckily, the taxiway lights are on, so I can see where I'm going for the most part. But you should see me, like, trying to peer my head over the dashboard as if that's going to make a difference. Sheesh. I can't wait till I get an Oculus Rift and I can really peer my head over the top of this thing. Although, don't ask me how I'm going to record with that. We'll figure that out at a later time. So yeah, this airport was created by somebody else. As always, I will have the links in the description in case you want to get this airport. This was freeware, of course, that I got off of the X-Plane site. And same goes for University Park Airport that we're going to. That's also a freeware that I picked up. Alright, I'm going to slow down a bit because I think we're at the end of the runway here. I don't want to miss my turn off here. Okay, here's the hold short. Okay, and what runway is this? Runway 12 or 1, 2. Okay, this is where we need to be. Alright, we'll go ahead and put on the brakes. Okay, first things first, I need flaps, and this is the weird thing about this aircraft. You see that little thing at the bottom center? It looks like emergency brake handle if you were in a car. That's the flap control. I'm not kidding. That is the flap control. It's just to the right of the trim, the elevator trim. So let's go ahead and give ourselves 1 notch of flaps. Okay, there we go. We can confirm that by going outside. Yep, we've got 1 notch of flaps, so we're good to go. Alright, let's do this thing. Come off the brakes. Come on, brakes. There we go. Alright, hopefully this aircraft will behave itself. I did a test run earlier, but since I've got real weather going, the test run was actually a lot easier because it was completely sunny. But since we're in PA, wait long enough, the weather will change. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to be able to line up on this runway here, but we're going to at least try to put ourselves relatively center. Okay, brakes on. Alright folks, here we go. Wish me luck. Brakes down, throttles up. Brakes off, and we're rolling, full throttle. Come on, tail, you might want to get up. Okay, there we go. Now I can see where I'm going. As long as I don't bang the propeller on the runway, we should be good to go. And we are at rotation speed, so let's go ahead and pull up gently. There we go. We are up. Before I get out of the white arc there, we'll go ahead and put the flaps up. Flaps will break off if you go over speed with them. Okay, and let's see. We are closing in on 2,000. I don't know how low that cloud layer is. I want to say it's probably close to 2,000, but find out in a second. If everything gets obfuscated, I'm going to need to come back down in altitude. But let's take it up to 2,000 first. We're still on runway heading. Let's go outside and confirm that. Yep, there we go. And there goes Altoona. Alright, so we've got a little tiny hill here. A very tiny hill. And we got clouds. Okay, so no higher than about 2,000 feet off the deck, unless of course we run into some mountains. But then that's the whole point of this little adventure that I'm on right now, is I want to make sure that we do some mountain flying. Alright, now that we're safely enough away from the airport, I'm going to hang a left here and look for a little cleft in the mountain that I can go through. I know when I did this earlier, there was a little cleft somewhere. Let's see if if I can find it again. Yeah, this is going to be a real exercise in navigation and just general stick and rudder flying. Well, I say stick and rudder, but obviously I've got a yoke. Okay, I think I'm going to need to go over this part right here. Wow, those trees are coming up awful quickly. Okay, you see that little notch in the hill right where the center line of my cockpit canopy is? I'm going to try and go over that. Let's give it a little bit more throttle. Oh, this is going to be close, folks. This is going to be close. Alright, what's the story there, trees? You going to stay below me? Alright, I think we're over the hill. We just barely made it. Okay. Woo! Alright, let's come off the throttle a little bit, and we'll just dip it down. About minus 700 feet per minute. Almost said per second there. Okay, we really need to get out of this. This pea soup is killing me here. Alright, I'm starting to see farmlands. This is good. Okay, and I see the river. Perfect. This is what I've been waiting for. So here's the plan, man. I'm going to follow this river north, and when the river stops becoming a big river and turns into a small river, there should be a bunch of roads and I think railway tracks that basically tells me where I need to go. And where in the hell did that cloud come from? Holy crap. Wow, did like the weather change or something here? So much for VFR flying. Okay, we're really going to need to get down to the deck here. This is going to get fun. Well, it could be worse. Could be raining. Alright, cleared up again. This is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring it down to the deck. And like I said, we will follow this river. Woohoo! Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Nothing like a little bit of mountain flying. I suppose this would probably be better if I were in a float plane. However, I have not yet located just the perfect float plane. I'm very picky about my float planes. I could use a Piper Cub, but kind of like how this thing flies here. Oh, here we go. Some kind of building over there by itself. Alright, let's give it a little bit of throttle and we'll swing around. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, look at that. You know what it's time for. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't know if we can do this. This is going to get interesting. Oh, boy. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. A little bit lower. Whoa, too low, too low. Holy hell. Oh my god, I can't believe I pulled that off. Woo. And just for good measure. Okay, kids, don't try that one at home. It's a wonder I didn't go into the drink there. Wow. Okay, well, enough of that tomfoolery. Let's follow this river here and see where it leads. Wow. Alright, back into the cockpit with me, and it looks like the rain has started again. Lovely. It ain't one thing, it's another. Okay, so that was largely unexpected. Completely forgot that bridge was there, but yeah. Say we made short work of that. Alright, now I've got to keep an eye on the engine here while I do this, so I'm going to zoom in just a touch here. I really want to make sure that my RPM on the right hand side is between 20 and 25. I don't want it to stay in the yellow for too long, otherwise that could end up being pretty bad for this aircraft. And let's make sure I'm not going to hit any trees while I'm at it here. Okay, there we go. See, I love flying like this. This is so cool. I wish the weather was a little bit better, but you know what? I'm not going to complain too much. If this is the worst that it's going to get, I can live with that. Of course, bear in mind I have no guarantee that this is the worst it can get. We'll find out soon enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and hang a left here. Quick look outside. Man, those trees look awful close. And that rain is unrelenting. Okay, so it looks like we got a nice straightaway here. So I'm going to go ahead and level her out and open her up a bit. We'll push it just to the edge of 2,500 RPM. And let's see. I do have SkyVector on the second computer, so I can kind of take a look at the shape of this river and gauge where I am. Okay, we're about halfway down to where I need to be. There's two little peninsulas jutting out to the right. There's a skinny one and a fat one. We're coming up on the skinny one right now, obviously. Okay, there we go. Just kind of go over the tip of it here. Alright, so I don't know if this is a lake or a river, to be honest with you. I want to say this might be a lake that just has rivers leading into it, because I see the part that goes off to the left there, and there's supposed to be a marina a little bit further down. There's like a little island in the center of the lake. And actually, now that I'm looking at SkyVector, yeah, it does say this is Raystown Lake. So yeah, there's a marina here, which I'm guessing maybe college students come out here and, you know, go fishing or boating or water skiing or whatever. But me, I am the only fool that's going to take a Cessna 170 in here and do some kind of crazy aerobatic stunts. Still can't believe I survived that bridge encounter. Wow. I don't know what it is, folks. It's an affectation that I have. I see a bridge, I gotta go under it. Unless, of course, it's one of those flat bridges, in which case, not happening. But I know this aircraft is small, so I had a feeling it could make it, and I was glad I was correct there. Alright, now if you look off to the right there, you will see that the cloud layer is pretty low. Wow, okay, so I am going to want to stay down here. What altitude am I at? Looks like 1,100. Man, as long as the visibility doesn't give up there, I should be okay. Although there are some mountains that I'm going to have to thread my way through on my way to University Park. I think if I remember correctly, that road that I'm heading to should lead me through the first mountain pass here. So yeah, as long as I remember to stay airborne, we're good. We're good. Alright, let's take a quick outside look here. Not gonna lie, this is one beautiful aircraft. They don't make them like this anymore. And I imagine this aircraft came well before aircraft like the 172 and of course my favorite, the 337. But yeah, Cessna knew what they were doing from way back when, and they were able to pull it off with just about every design that they've ever come up with. So that's one thing I will say about them. That's why they developed the reputation that they have for being reliable, dependable, and in some cases, I guess, innovative. Because at the time, what else was around, really? As far as GA craft, Piper maybe, perhaps Beach. But yeah, I guess those three corporations are like the triumvirate of power when it comes to GA craft. Of the lot, Cessna's always been my favorite. But then, I have personal reasons for that. When I was a kid, my dad, getting his private pilot's license, that's what he learned on, was on a Cessna. Although there was the one time that he flew in a Beach Bonanza and I went with him, which Beach Bonanza still remains my favorite Beechcraft to this day. But no, you can't ever take away the joy of flying in a Cessna for me. Oh wow, this weather is getting lower and lower. I'm not sure I like this. Alright, you know what? I'm going to go back in the cockpit here. Okay, let's do a quick altitude check. I am at 1,000 and about 240. What happens if I pull up? How high do I need to pull up before my view gets completely obscured? Okay, we are at 1.3. Let's bring it up to 1.4. So far we're pretty clear at 1.4. That marina should be off to the left. Okay, here we go. So at about 1,400 feet, that is when we start running into a little bit of the pea soup. Okay, so I gotta remember that then. So yeah, somewhere over that side is the marina, at least according to my SkyVector map. However, I don't think it is modeled here in X-Plane. Although that does give me an interesting idea. I don't think there's an actual seaplane airport there, but I might want to make one just, you know, so that I can come in here and do a little bit of flying. Alright, I want to say this is where the edge of the river is. Yeah, because that's going all the way down that way. That's the northern end of the lake. So yeah, this should be the end of Raystown Lake right here, which means we're going to need to keep an eye out for that little tiny river that's going to be meandering its way this way. As long as I keep heading this way, I can find the road up ahead. So that should be good. That should be good. And we know that 1,400 is our limit before we start getting obscured. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm going to pull up just a touch here. A little uneasy about these hills coming up. We could follow the contour of the river, but yeah, I think we've done enough river following today. The hard part for me, at least, is going to be finding the airport that we're going to, just based on my little dead reckoning that I have on my charts. Because there, of course, is no GPS. And with the radios not working properly, I have no way of tuning in the VORTAC that's close to the University Park Airport. So yeah, this could get interesting. Alright, 1,300. We'll hold it here for a little bit. I think that should be high enough. So one thing that I love about aerial charts, they tell you where all the various peaks are, so you have an idea of what you're going to be going through. The waypoint we're going to is called Blink, B-L-I-N-K. It should be right about there. You see those roads slightly off to the left there? We're going to need to make a left as soon as we go over this hill here. I'm telling you folks, I love doing stuff like this. This is so awesome. It's just you and your aircraft and Mother Nature. Alright, so here's our turn off. We'll go ahead and drop the power a little bit here. And we're basically going to follow this road until it leads us out of the mountain pass. And once we get out of the mountain pass, I'm going to want to make sure we're on a heading close to about 004 or maybe 010. I don't know. We'll see how the mountains look up ahead, because I'm still going to need to find a mountain pass. I really don't want to have to go up to beyond 1,400 feet. Otherwise, it's going to be ridiculous trying to get through there if I can't see what I'm doing. And I know I could probably go over the clouds, but I don't know how thick these clouds are. That's the other problem. Alright, quick outside view. We'll take a look at the highway to our right. Wow, look at that. I think I've been on that highway too, if I'm not too mistaken. I want to say that might be the turnpike. I could be wrong. Not quite sure that X-Plane meant to put a power line in the center of the highway, though. That doesn't look right. to think of it, these bridges are looking a little funky too. Alright, this is the town of Huntington. I actually spoke to a guy from here. He actually pronounced it Hinden. I'm like, excuse me? Hinden. Live in Hinden. Okay. Hinden. You don't know Hinden? No, I don't. So yeah, he was actually trying to say Huntington. That's Pennsylvania for you. Now, if I remember correctly, there's also Amish in the area. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet Amish folk. Pretty interesting little culture they've got there. Of course, you know, they eschew all of the modern technology. However, they also have this thing where when young adults are approaching their 21st birthday, I want to say it's when they're like 20 or something like that, they're basically allowed to engage in all kinds of worldly pleasures from the 20th to the 21st birthday. And then once they get to the 21st birthday, if they still want to be like a part of the church and whatnot, they have to, you know, take the vows and give up all of the stuff that they were doing. So I'll put it in perspective for you. Imagine, if you will, that you are basically allowed to party hardy for the span of a year. You're allowed to do all kinds of stuff that otherwise would be frowned upon by your community for 1 year. That includes like drinking, doing drugs, you know, all of that kind of stuff or whatnot. And then at the end of the year, you got to give it all back up, assuming of course you decide that you want to stay with the community or whatnot. Yeah, that's what they have to go through. And I remember this one time that I was driving through this area and I just happened to see a cop up ahead with the lights on. I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? So I slow down a little bit, make sure I'm driving the speed limit, because, you know, everybody does that. Sure enough, as I get closer to the cop, he's got this guy in a horse and buggy pulled over for a DUI, driving under the influence. So this young kid, he went and got drunk, and he's in a horse and buggy, mind you. So you think the horse would know where the hell it's going, but he still got arrested for drunk driving. It was the wildest thing I'd ever seen. Little Amish kid's got 10 fingers on the fender here as he's being patted down by the cops, and they have him do the breathalyzer test and stuff. It was just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Stuff you can only find in Pennsylvania. And I'm sure you've noticed that there are power lines up ahead. Yeah, I'm going to go under them. I have to. It's a thing. It needs to be done. I'm going to pull the power back a little bit here, though. Alright, let's go outside and see this. Oh, look, there's the railroad track that I was looking for. Alright, sweet. And there goes our power lines. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to kind of thread my way through here, since obviously if I go much higher, I'm going to be in cloud country again. I'm also cross-referencing SkyVector to make sure that these landmarks that I'm seeing, these rivers and so on, are in the correct place. And that is one thing I will definitely say about X-Plane. Yes, the network grid is usually accurate, except for, you know, spots where like the power lines that we just saw, or the roads getting all funky. Things like the rivers and the mountains and whatnot are fairly accurate. You can actually follow your own progress on SkyVector. Really neat. In order to get the same level of detail in FSX, you'd probably have to have something like Orbix, FTX Global, FTX Vector, you know, that kind of stuff. But this is all out of the box with X-Plane, and I gotta say, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we got an opening up ahead. Let me head back in the cockpit and see exactly where we are as far as our heading. Okay, let's see. This should be Petersburg up ahead. We're at a heading of 330, so I'm going to want to swing out this way. Yeah, we'll pass Petersburg. Now, there's supposed to be a pretty long ridge up ahead. I don't know how I'm going to get past that without getting into the soup again, but we'll see how well that works. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put myself at a heading of about 004, or as close to it as I can get. You can see the little compass there in the center, just behind the yoke on the right hand side. Well, the left yoke, right side of the left yoke. Put it that way. Alright, we'll keep it around 1200 there. I think I can start to see the ridge up ahead. Now see, according to the map, there should be a little cut that I can make to the left of that ridge. And I think I see it. Yeah, that might be it over here. Okay, this is what we're going to do here. This is what we're going to do. You can see where the two mountain ridges kind of intersect. That's where I'm going for. And of course you can see the weather on the right, so we know not to get much higher than that. So if I sneak around this ridge here that is currently off to my right, and then swing out to the left a little bit, there should be another cut that I can take. Alright, what is my heading? 300. Okay. We're a little high. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so there's the cut that we want here. Wow, we are just skirting the edge here, folks. This is nuts. I'm going to take a picture for posterity here. Whoa. Is that what I think that is? Holy crap, that is thunder. Okay then. That was largely unexpected. I figured it was just like overcast and rain showers. I didn't think that we were going to run into a thunderstorm as well, so that could change the game entirely. Okay, let me go to the outside view and see if I can make it through this little cut here. Alright, this is our turn. Okay, I have confirmed, yes, there is a river and a road between here. Okay, now as soon as we make it through here, we are going to need to dogleg to the right to a heading of about 065, roughly. Just want to get past the rest of these hills here. But yes, I do see the railroad tracks. Hey, look, there's a train too. Choo-choo! You know me when it comes to trains. Although it's still any wonder why I haven't yet tried Train Simulator. But yes, this train track and river should lead to a place called Spruce Creek. We could, in theory, follow this all the way to Spruce Creek and then make our turn to 065. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a look at this train here. It's a Kodak moment. Choo-choo! Okay, so the train tracks are going straight. I guess we'll just follow the tracks, huh? Okay, should be some smaller hills there. And I want to say that this should be where we turn to the north now. Yeah, because we're past all of those mountains and so on that we need to pass. So this is where we're going to make our north turn. And I should probably get back in the cockpit. Okay, so we'll swing it around to about 065 and then keep heading that way. Or maybe 060 might do the trick. I do see a peak off to the right. I want to say that we need to go right through this little valley here, so this is us. Alright, so we are at 1400 right now. I don't know if the barometric pressure has changed. I really have no way of checking. I can tell that the airport that we're going to is at an elevation of 1,363, so if I start seeing the ground come up to me, I'll know that our altimeter is a little bit off. I just hope it's not foggy when we get there, because honestly I didn't prepare for that. It is raining still. If you look closely, you can see it coming down there. Visibility is getting poor. Wow. And I could probably trim up just a touch, so let me go ahead and do that. Pull that back a bit. Alright, let's see if that works. Let go of the controls. Okay. Yeah, I do need to give a little bit of back pressure, but not nearly as much as I had before. This thing is trimmed and our speed is looking good. I haven't had to use the carb heat just yet, but you know what? Let me just take a quick look. Our oil temperature is looking a little low. On a hunch, I'm going to go ahead and turn on a carb heat. So we'll pull that out. Oh, come on, thing. Don't mess with me. Pull out. There we go. Okay, carb heat is now on. We'll keep it around 060 here until I start seeing some more landmarks. I want to say we probably already passed Spruce Creek, but don't quote me on that one. I'm going to go to the right side of this little hill. Not 100% sure that's where we need to be, but I know that this valley should open up considerably on our way in. And don't ask me how I'm going to find this airport. Jeez. So far, it looks like our aircraft is behaving itself, so you know what? That's good enough for me. Got enough amps, oil pressure is looking good, suction is good. I can't read that other gauge without moving the yoke a little bit here. Oh, that's our fuel. Okay, yeah, we got enough fuel. Oh, there's another way you can check the fuel too, so let me just zoom out and I'll show you. Alright, on the left hand side, if we look up, you'll see there's a fuel gauge right above the door. And same thing goes for the right hand side. So there we go, that's both of our tanks. Just a quick read of that. We are just above a half a tank on that wing. And about a half a tank, a little bit more than that on the left wing. Okay, good deal. Went up a little too high. I think I got this thing trimmed a little bit too high. So we'll come back down some. And I'm off course. Wow. See, that's the problem with dead reckoning here. You got to make sure that you're Johnny on the spot. You can't really afford to get distracted. But I'm talking to you guys, because, you know, that's the whole point of this. And looks like the rain is easing up a little bit. This is good. As long as the visibility clears up, this will be good. This will be really good. Alright, so we'll stay close to 060. I'm guessing we're probably around 063 right now, which is actually where we should be according to SkyVector. And I'm going to need to trim up a little bit more, so just kind of bear with me here. Come on, baby, trim up. Just let it go, see what it does. Got a little bit of breeze pushing me to the right, but yeah, it looks like I've pretty much got this thing in trim. That works. Oh, spoke too soon. Okay, she's coming back up. Let's get a little bit of rudder trim here. Oftentimes that'll stabilize yourself there. Okay. There we go. Now we're starting to look good. Alright, there is a lake up ahead. Now the real question is this the lake that I am looking at on the map? And the answer is I am not sure. I do know we took a north roughly around Petersburg. And I also know that the clouds seem to be rising a bit here. Because look at our altitude. We're currently at 1,600 feet. Remember, we had that limit of 1,400 before. See how high we can get it. If we're lucky, we might be able to take it to about 2,000. Okay, there's a road there. If that's the road that I'm thinking, then that runs parallel to this airport that we're going to. Should be a little town up ahead called Pine Grove Mills. It should be on the right side, close to State College, which is the city where the airport is that we're going to. Like I said, home of Penn State University. There we go. Let's hear it for the Nittany Lions. Alright, there should be a lake off to my left, too. Let me take a quick look here. Whoa, didn't want to do that. Okay, I don't see the lake. I might be a little too far to the east. Let's go ahead and swing out here. Yeah, we definitely need to be a little bit further west here. Or I guess technically that would be north. Well, if you're looking at the compass anyway. Either way, we're going to swing out a little bit here because I'm pretty certain that this thing is over this way. So yeah, just to remind you, the sole means of navigation that I've got in this thing right now is SkyVector on computer monitor number 2. Alright, I'm going to use my magic binoculars here and see what I can see. Trees. Nothing but trees. Alright, let's swing out to the right a little bit more here. What do we have on this side? Any towns? Any distinguishing landmarks? No, just clouds and more trees. Okay. Well, clearly that means we're getting a little too high, so we'll go ahead and pull it back down. And what altitude are we at? 1,900. Okay, so we cannot go any higher than that, otherwise we're going to run into that obscuring situation. Okay, according to my map, there should be a town named Warrior's Mark to the left side. We might not be able to see it from here, though. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. There should also be another lake around here somewhere. You know, I could just be getting us lost, folks. But hey, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do some mountain flying, so here we go. Alright, now the other major thing that we're going to look for is a big city. And like I said, we got State College in the vicinity, so as long as we can lay eyes on State College, then we know we're heading in the right direction. I want to say this might be it coming up there. Can't really tell. Are those trees or is that a city? That doesn't look like a city. That looks like a small town. Maybe that's Pine Grove Mills, which if that is the case, then State College is going to be off this way. Can't tell because there's a little hill in my way. Fancy that. Alright, let's go outside and see if we can get a better view. Alright, I'm going to zoom in a touch here and see what I can see. Try and pull us up just a bit. Okay, I'm seeing big city. I am seeing big city. So yes, I have a very good idea where we are. We're going to need to go to the left of that, and I'm going to need to get the hell out of this cloud. So let's swing out this way. And wait, I think I see an airport beacon. Pretty sure I just saw the flash of an airport beacon. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. All I do know is this airport should be pretty close to here. Let's look around some more. Oh, come on, clouds. Don't mess with me. Yeah, there is nothing due south of this city. The airport is somewhat in the city, but it's kind of off to the northwestern side of the city. So we've got the city here. It's going to spread out that way, so let's go this way. Trust me, folks, I know what I'm doing. We are professionals. Alright, back in the cockpit with me. And I'm pretty sure this thing is around here somewhere. Oh, it really would help if I could see where the hell I'm going, huh? I told you this was going to get interesting. You know, I want to say it should be directly up ahead. I don't know, though I could be wrong. It's definitely not on that side of the city. Off to the left, maybe? No, definitely not. You know, this does kind of look familiar now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to continue heading this way because I have the sneaking suspicion that it is really directly ahead of me and I'm just not seeing it right now for whatever reason. But I do see the highway going through the city. That's a thing. And I want to say it is past this highway. Yes, according to SkyVector, it is. And it is definitely along the 060 heading. Alright, so there's the cop there. We're going to use the cop for navigation aids here. Can't really see him now. Okay, it's got to be dead ahead. Because judging from the angle that we are at right now, it's got to be in this neck of the woods. If it's not, believe me, we'll find out soon enough. Quick check to the right, just in case. Nope, I'm not seeing any beacons. But there is beautiful State College, so you know what? We are not too far off. I know it does run kind of parallel to the highway. But I also know we should be able to see it by now, although the visibility is kind of poor. Aha! Wait a minute! Hold that thought! Hold that thought! There it is! Alright, let's hear it for my navigation skills. Woohoo! Good thing I had enough gas to be flying all night. Alright, so, you know what it's time for now. We're already lined up, sort of. So, we're going to need to pull the throttle back a bit. We'll put it down to about 50%. Now, if you notice the airspeed gauge on the left, right next to where it says O, you see the white arc, the inner white arc. We need to make sure that our speed goes into that arc before we think about dropping flaps. So let's see if we can keep her level. And I'm going to drop the power near idle. And it looks like we're almost on glide slope. We are definitely lining up here. I'm going to take a quick Kodak moment. There we go. It's probably not going to be our title shot. You will have already seen our title shot. Quick look outside. Let's see how we're doing, and then we'll get ready to drop the flaps since we are finally within the correct speed parameters here. Alright, we'll go ahead and drop the flaps now. There's flaps 1. Get flaps 2. Might as well get flaps 3. Okay, we are on glide slope. Damn, it just got darker. Wow. Okay, well, no time like the present. Let's go ahead and bring this bird in. A little above the glide slope, but I think I can do this. There we go. Now we are on target. Give it a little bit more power. We can do this, folks. We can do this. Oh, now I'm too low. Fancy that. There we go. We'll stay on target. Stay on target. And we should be able to pull this off, but you know what? I'm not going to say anything just yet, just in case I jinx myself. Alright, we're over the tree line, so we should be good to go. Let's drop some power. Nice, gentle descent. I'm probably going to put it down just past the numbers. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Drop a little bit more power. And right on this marker here at the touchdown zone should do the trick. Okay, throttle to idle. Go outside for the touchdown. And we're down. Oh, now we're down. Good deal. Well, folks, welcome to State College, University Park Airport. We made it. And looks like we made it just in time because there appears to be more storms rolling in, and that is definitely not a good thing. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the flaps up. Suddenly dawned on me, I don't think we have our landing lights on. See if I can fix that real quick here before we get off the runway. Could have sworn I had them on. Let me see. Landing lights. Yeah, they are on. Huh. I don't know what's up with that. Let's take a quick look outside. Yep, they're definitely on. That's odd. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to worry too much about it because we made it. After a good bit of some mountain flying and following all the natural terrain, we were able to make it here safe and sound. It's a little bit wet, but you know what? We can handle that. We can definitely handle that. Alright, so I'm going to taxi over to my parking spot here, or at least my designated parking spot, and I think I see where all the GA is. That will be where we are going. A lot of regional jets in this area. I imagine it's a whole bunch of college kids coming to town. Although I highly doubt there's going to be a lot of Air France over here, so I don't know what's up with that. Skeptical pilot is skeptical. Yeah, we still got a little bit of sunshine coming through, even though it's very cloudy and very rainy. But this, I do believe, is going to be my parking spot. So let's go ahead and get in there. Thinking right next to that other Cessna. Okay, now would be a good time to turn. There we go, there we go. Oh, let's turn the other way here. And because it's me, I've got to line up right on the line. Okay, so maybe that wasn't exactly on the line, but you know what? It's close enough for me. Alrighty, folks, so that will just about do it for me. And I want to thank you all for watching. As always, this has been BelGeode, and I really do appreciate you flying with me. We've been flying in X-Plane 10.50. And I've been flying the Cessna 170, which is a freeware. The link, like I said, will be down below, so you can grab this plane if you would like. And I highly recommend it. Really awesome stuff. Haven't figured out what's going on with the radios yet, but you know what? I can deal with that some other time. But for now, let's go ahead and make sure everything is off, and we will call it quits. If you have enjoyed what you have seen, please feel free to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. And I will see you for the next fun episode where we'll figure out what we're going to do next. I might actually show you Washington Airport now that I'm thinking about it, because honestly, we haven't been there for a while and I have been working on it, so there we go. But for the time being, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all really soon. Ciao!